Hey guys, I'm Dimension Jumper and today I'll be reviewing the Min Min DLC for Smash Bros. Ultimate, which was released back in June of 2020. Now, Min Min is the first fighter for Smash Bros. Well, for the Smash Bros. Ultimate Fighter Pass 2, and she is from the game ARMS. And ARMS, from what I know, is similar to Smash Bros. In that it's a fighter-based game. I don't think it has the same. It doesn't have the same sort of. It has similar stuff to Smash Bros. ARMS, from what I know. It says that it's a fighter game, but it doesn't have, the same amount of, fighter-based things we've seen from the Smash Bros. Series. So with Min Min, she is kind of similar to. Well, I didn't know about ARMS. I think because with ARMS, I think it was like one of the first early games to be released on the Switch. And with Min Min, I didn't really know a whole lot about Min Min and ARMS as a whole. Or the only thing I know about the game, as I said before, is similar to Smash Bros. Is in that it's a fighter game, and with her moveset and how she works, it's kind of interesting because she's got two kinds of attacks, because she can use her main areas of attack are her arms, and I think that makes her stand out in the long run. And I think when compared to some of the other fighters in both Wave 1 and Wave 2, because because her arms, one of her arms can change weapons, so it can go from this like small gun thing to a sort of like hula hoop type thing, and then a giant wrecking ball, and you can, and her other arm is just one gun, and that's a really interesting way of doing combos and landing hits, because you can have the arm that's the gun just like to throw it out to do some damage, and then you can use the other arm that has one of the other weapons on it to deal the second hit, or make it do the first hit, and then use the other arm to deal the extra damage. So that's quite cool. As for her stage that Min Min has, it's quite fun and interesting, because the stage is this sort of fighting arena area, and you have these different pads or panels on the stage. So you have one in the middle and two on the side, and these panels occasionally turn green, and this means you can use them to basically jump from one side to the next, and vice versa. And I think that's really, really useful when it comes to the stage as a whole, because you could try and intercept some of your opponents. So let's say you're playing on Min Min's stage, and then one of your opponents is jumping to try and get away from another person or another player, and then you can use the pad or the panel from the other side and just jump and intercept them. So that's quite cool, and that's a fun and fascinating stage, and I think it's quite cool. So yeah. And now it's time for some gameplay. So for Min Min, her moves are quite different from other fighters when it comes to their moveset. Obviously she's got the same moves as every single other fighter. Her like a neutral B, her up B, that sort of thing. And also here are the spring pads. I think it's quite nice. I do like them. But when it comes to a moveset, I think Min Min is definitely one of those characters that basically needs some sort of, or basically just needs like you probably basically one can say just needs to like play for a bit, if you want to get used to her when it comes to her moveset, and that's quite cool. Her stage as a whole, I do like it. I do like the whole stage. Stage as a whole, I do like it. I do like how it's like, how fighter, basically how fighter stage, like a tournament stagey fight thing will be. like with people with these kind of abilities, or with Min Min's abilities. So that's quite cool. And hopefully I can get her. They can use the maybe. Hang on. So yeah, if you can see, her arm can change, or well, one of her arms can change into different arms, and I think that's really good, because like it brings so much different tactics, and trying to like figure out how like the best mode or best way of trying to like use those moves and stuff like that. So yeah, and now I'm going to show you her final smash. So for Min Min's final smash, she can use her arms to like reach people. It's one of those final smashes that's kind of it has to be like if you're in like in her range, like a medium-ish range, then she'll be able to hit you, and you'll be hit with a final smash again. So I'm just gonna show you it again. So let's try from this distance. So yeah, if depending on which stage you're on, and when Min Min gets to use her final smash, you might not be able to get out of her range. Like as you just saw, I was about around the center of the stage, about here-ish. And when you saw her, Min Min use her final smash on Daisy. So it's really one of those things of when it comes to like the range of her attack, or when she can use it, and how many people can be affected. I think it's mainly one, but yeah, that's really. I do like how all the other armed characters kind of come in to do a sort of like barrage of punches to the opponent. So yeah, so that's been it for the gameplay. Now it's going to go back to the review. So as a whole, I would say that Min Min is one of those characters that's best explained through gameplay, and yeah, I think you can talk about that for a lot of the other characters as well when it comes to Smash Bros. Like, oh, you have to watch them and experience them how they fight in order to understand their moveset, and you can basically see that similar thing with Min Min, because I think when you compare her to some of the other characters in both Waves 1 and 2 of the DLC for Smash Bros. Ultimate, you really have to say, okay, you really get to show, like, okay, these are how Min Min operates and how she moves, these are her moves and these are how you can use them and stuff like that. So it's one of those things where it's kind of like show how they work, and then people will probably who may want to play as Min Min might be able to get the hang of it. It was, from what I remember when I first played as Min Min, it is a bit difficult to get into at first, but I feel like with enough time and getting to know how Min Min works, I think it will get better and better in terms of having to play as Min Min. So yeah, so overall, I do enjoy Min Min as a character, and I think she was a nice introduction for the first for the second wave, and it's kind of like shows how if Wave 1 was sort of like a tester in the sense that, okay, we've got these characters, now we know that anyone has the potential to be in, let's push the boat out more and see who else can be brought in. And I think a lot of the characters in Wave 2 especially do push the boat out in that area. So yeah. So that's been my review for Min Min. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.